Scene 1, Apple, take 1.
We're going to have a quick little video about eliminating background noise in our tracks. And this is, the best thing in the world would be to not have background noise in our tracks anyway, and just don't record it in the first place. But that's not always possible. It's not always going to happen that way. And if you're ever out on the road or you have to record inside, inside a hotel room or anywhere, and it's a less than optimum environment to record in, then you're probably going to have to utilize some tricks. And this is one of those tricks that I discussed a little while ago. Once again, we're back in SoundForge, but this can be done in any one of the editors. Maybe just a little bit easier in something like Adobe Audition, but I wanted to try to utilize editors that a lot of people have out there. So this one is in SoundForge, and I might repeat the process for how to do it in Audacity and in Adobe Audition. Here we have our sound file. Is it a wonderful audition? No, it's yours truly counting to 4. And in the background, there's a considerable amount of noise, and it's just the computer fans that are whirling around in here, and you can hear it right now. 1, 2, 3, 4. So you can definitely pick up on the background noise. We're going to use a process that I had referred to on VU back when VU very first started, VoiceOver Universe. The little article that I wrote there that explains the process a little more in detail about reverse phase noise cancellation. Essentially what we're going to do is play this file back at itself in areas that we want to attenuate the room noise. And I'm not going to take the time to try to make it ultra precise, but I'll show you in just really a couple clicks how you can take this file and pretty much nullify the background noise. But also this is done under the idea that this is a last case scenario, worst case scenario, end of world thing where you have to get the VO out and you have to make it quiet. This wouldn't be something you'd want to do in your studio if you had the choice. So anyway, we have our initial file, and we're going to go ahead and open up another one. File, new. We're working in 44.1 16-bit mono at the moment. We probably would be working in 48 at any other occasion, but just for the moment, these are in 44.1. Now I have this new file. What I'm going to do is come up to the top, double-click in my file, right-click, copy, come down to the bottom, right-click, paste. Now I have a duplicate version of that same file. Highlight it, make sure that this is our active window, and then we're going to come up to Process and Invert Flip, and go ahead and invert that and flip. What this has done is put this file in exact opposite phase of the file which is up above it. And it's important that we keep these lined up, and that's for a little bit later. Anyway, so now that it is inverted, if we were to play both of these files at the same time, theoretically, in good digital editors, there shouldn't be any sound at all. But unfortunately, in SoundForge, you can't really play both files at the same time, can you? Only under certain circumstances. But we already know that. So what we're going to try to do is we want to nullify the noise but allow our voices to be heard, and there are a couple different processes to do that. The one that we're going to use is probably the most effective, and there are 2 steps here. Once we've inverted or flipped the file, then we're going to go ahead, come in and zoom in on the portion of the audio that we actually want to keep, and in order to keep the audio we have to get rid of it on another one of the files. Now we're not necessarily going to get rid of it, we're only going to turn it down. I'm going to come up, Process, Volume. We have this drugged down to minus 45 dB. We're going to say OK. All right, and you'll understand this. If you don't, you'll see it. Come up to the next one. And with this particular way that I'm doing it, you don't have to be terribly accurate, but it does help to be somewhat accurate. Come up, repeat, come here, repeat, and come up here and repeat. Now that we have this, we're going to take it, highlight the entire thing, right click, copy, come up into our our original file here, and this is the important part. You see where the cursor is, and we've got to zero the cursor out and make sure that it goes all the way to the back, because these files have to be perfectly lined up in order for this process to work. Now that we have that, right click and mix. Now what we have is the ability to play both of these files at the same time. It's going to show you what the mix is going to sound like. So let's give it a listen. And I'm going to mute my mic here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Just to give you an idea of the accuracy of the reverse phase cancellation, I'm going to play this file without the mix. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then once again with the mix. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we say, okay, we're going to accept that and allow the mix to happen. And then you now have no more need for this file below. Just close it. No. Unless, of course, you're going to go back and try to make some adjustments. But in just a few quick seconds, I was able to, or a few quick minutes, I was able to take that noise out of the room signal and make a relatively clean voice track. Now, to see how accurate we were, really, you've got to take this thing and hopefully listen to it with a nice set of headphones or something before you send it on, because there will occasionally be trailing elements after the word where you'll still hear the noise. If that happens to you, just go up to your, let me see, is it process here? No, it is effects, noise gate. And you have to play with the noise gate to make sure that you don't really clip these words off or attenuate them, because right now I can tell you the noise gate's probably a little too strong. 1, 2, 3, yep, 4. See, it's eating the 3 and eating the 4, and really we're going to want to put this threshold closer to about 35 dB. Now let's try this out. 1, 2, 3, 4. Still a little aggressive. Let's open it up just a bit more. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now you can see that you use this to fine-tune the effect. Don't try to do it all with the phase cancellation. Use the noise gate after the phase cancellation to try to tidy things up. Your other option is to go in and get a little closer and use appropriate fades here if you do have a piece of audio after one clip that's nagging at you, or where something has leaked through and you can still hear the noise floor coming up. You can use fade outs in order to rule those out. But once again, as a last case scenario, if you have to do this in a hotel room, you're going to be really, really happy you know this trick, and hopefully you find it helpful someday. And we'll see you later. Bye now.